kick-off. Alan Wilson starts the game for Cronulla. Brisbane defending that northern end, and immediately Billy Note knocks the ball on. And the first error of the game, and a scrum will go down, and that really puts some pressure on the Broncos. Here it is. As simple as that.
Billy Note found the ball going right through the fingers, and just the tiniest of knock-ons that went through to hit his ankles. Wayne Bennett will be very unhappy with that.
Here's the Sharks right on the attack in the early stages as Sorensen takes it ahead. Sorensen only a couple of metres out from that Brisbane line. Miller a dummy half. He finds Diamond out there, and Diamond is held up only about 4 metres out. Again, it's Miller calling the shots. Blindside, it comes away to Sorensen. Last tackle against the Sharks. Wilson a dummy half this time. Wilson tries to go on his own. He's got it away. That's Hatch. The kick going across the face of goal, and it'll be a try. Greg Davies. Davies goes through and scores the try. And Cronulla are in front 4-0.
Well, it's as simple as that. You've got to go back to the kick-off. The ball was knocked on by Billy Note. That gave Cronulla possession they never should have had, and it leads to a try. And what a breakthrough early in the match. We've only had a minute of play or so. The kick from David Hatch right across field. He knew what he was doing. That wasn't an accident. The ball, of course, took the kick and bounced high over the top of the defence, and Davies had the waiting arms. The ball flicked out the back to Hatch. Hatch took the odds to it, knowing he had plenty of chasers out there and Brisbane was thin. Davies read it well, came charging through. And that's a great bit of work by Cronulla to capitalise on the Brisbane mistake.
Wilson moves in, there's the kick, he's got it. And so after only 6 tackles in this match, Cronulla are leading Brisbane 6-0. Conescu moving into dummy half. That's G. Speaking of Gavin Miller there, and when he was doing that kicking, just reminded me that we've also received news today that Andy Goodway has had to drop out of the Great Britain side to tour Australia later this year. And the Wigan forward, who played with Manly a few years ago, and now we've seen an intercept, and here's a chance again. Wilson racing away. He's got the pass away to Coleman, and Coleman will come round and score. Coleman's under the post. Try. It's 10-0.
And yet another terrible mistake from Brisbane. It was Terry Madison trying to throw a pass which was simply not on. He should have taken the tackle. The pass had no chance. Cronulla had scored. Here's the work. Madison tries to get a pass away. It's intercepted, and scooting away with it for Cronulla was Alan Wilson. He was the man who took the play on, got a good pass away as he took the tackle of Lewis, and Coleman scoots in, supporting him well. Well, a mistake leading to the try. The intercept there, and Wilson did very well, firstly to stay on his feet, then he made good ground to get away. Lewis in desperate cover defence, gathered him in. He just struggles to keep on his feet, and Coleman right at his shoulder.
So Wilson really spends some time concentrating. He moves back some considerable distance to line up the kick. Many kickers just stand there to line it up, but he goes back about 3 or 4 paces, lines it up, and then comes back in. And very deliberately stands behind the ball, concentrating, moving in. He's successful. And what a start for the Cronulla Sharks. We've had only 6.5 minutes of football, and Cronulla are leading by 12 points to 0. Sorensen. Miller. Now there's Russell, and look at the speed of the man, the acceleration. He's got Docking in support. Docking over the quarter line. This is try number 3. Docking in under the post. It's 16-0.
An amazing situation here. The speed of Barry Russell was the trigger. He runs off the pass of Miller, and look at him fly through the gap. Absolute sheer blinding speed off the mark, and Docking looming up in support. They're glad to have Jonathan Docking back because he's always in the right spot at the right time. And it's 16-0. It's an unbelievable scoreline.
This is what I was talking about, the speed of this Barry Russell. If he gets half a chance, he has lightning acceleration, and look at that.
Last week, Barry Russell scored 3 tries in Cronulla's big win, and it's no surprise that Cronulla are starting to play so well because they have speed in close. Earlier in the season, they had people like Ron Quinn, not the same speed.
Wilson pilots it straight over the dot. And so, after just 10 minutes of football, Cronulla are leading Brisbane by 18 points to 0. Conescu in a dummy half again. Dowling, the pass comes away now towards Madison. 12 metres out from that Cronulla line. Noka dummy half, blindside Dowling again. That's G. The one-handed pass goes from Johns to Scott. Scott through one. He's got it away, Langer. Langer's got support in Miles, and he's got Teven on his outside. Teven and Watson tackles him only a metre short of the line. Langer from dummy half. The pass away to Johns. The grubber kick. And Johns has regathered and scored, but the referee says no. The Sharks, who had an unlucky start to the season, probably a little bit unfortunate when they went down to South. They drew with Easts, and a couple of games got away from them. But they've started to come good in recent weeks, and here's Docking over the halfway again. Docking coming towards Scott. Docking puts the kick in. We'll wait and see what the referee says as Docking was taken out of the play, and the referee says penalty. Referee ruling that Docking was tackled after he put the kick in, and the penalty right in front should make it 20-0. Now here it is again.
Once again, I think this is touch and go. Scott was certainly committed to the tackle, and I really, well, if I had to make that decision, I would have let play go on.
They knew straight away that the penalty would be given. And the outside backs doing all the tackling for Cronulla so far. Eddinghausen and Davies, 5 each. Wilson moves in. There's the kick. He's got it. 17 minutes into the match, and Cronulla are leading Brisbane by 20 points to 0. Miles, Lewis.
Now that's a feature that Brisbane haven't had enough of either, Lewis running. Last week, Lewis was content mainly to kick in attack. He didn't do a lot of running, and he simply has to start getting more involved himself.
Hone down the centre. Conescu, Langer, Lewis. Here's Miles. Good defence. What a tackle that was. Hatch and speechless. Don't see Gene Miles stopped in his tracks like that too often. Here's Madison on the last tackle. He's got a chance. The ball's floated over the top, and it's a try to Hancock. Brisbane are in. Fair try. Michael Hancock scores the try. Madison made the break. And they took the odds on the last tackle, and it came off. Good break from Madison, good finishing from Hancock.
It was good determined running from Madison. He saw the little hole and squirted through it, and then as the defence hit him, he manages to get a pass away with a great pass, and Hancock there to receive and put the ball down. Easy in the end. Madison will be quite happy about that, making up for the bad pass which led to a Cronulla try earlier. He goes through the gap which was left by the Cronulla defence, and then as Eddinghausen comes over the top, he manages to fling it away to the unmarked Hancock.
Here's Madison. He struck it pretty well. He's got it across the face of the uprights, though. Brisbane have got the ball. There's Miles. Look at the strength of the man. As he got that pass away to Lewis. Continues it on out there. Johns back to Lewis. Magnificent football from the Broncos. Lewis going down the quarter line. He can't get his pass away. There's good defence from Eddinghausen. But what great skills from Lewis, and especially Miles, as Scott takes it up again.
Miles held 2 tacklers at bay while he slipped the pass to Lewis coming around him to make that break.
Here's G. Conescu in a dummy half. Langer. That's Madison. Conescu in a dummy half as it goes the blind side. Langer again. Haven't seen much of him in attack today. That's Conescu. Conescu's kick into the end goal area. Dowling coming through. Russell gets there first, and I think he towed it over the dead ball line.
Penalty's gone against Dowling for pushing Russell in the back before he got to the ball. Penalty to Cronulla. Conescu puts a little kick through. It was a handy kick too. And of all people to be chasing through, it's the big front rower Dowling, but Russell's speed got there first, and Dowling pushing him out of the road.
Miller holds the pass up, and Diamond straight through. Diamond coming down to the quarter line. He looked for support, and another great ball and all tackle. Colin Scott again, but they've carved them up the middle again. And there goes Russell. Russell jinking. Russell stepping. He's only about 5 metres out. Last tackle against Cronulla. Hatch, the kick again. Eddinghausen's got it. Eddinghausen's lost it. Eddinghausen can't control the ball. And Brisbane come up with it.
There was the kick straight across field, driving low and hard from Hatch. The same kick that led to a try earlier on. That was a try by Davies, the first one. It's a planned tactic by Cronulla, and it almost came off again because Eddinghausen was loose.
And now they've got another chance here, Cronulla. Another mistake, Davies. Can't get that pass back on the inside. Miller. Sorensen charges the line. Pass comes away now towards Eddinghausen. He almost falls over the injured Chris Johns. It's not Chris Johns. And there's Wheeler going straight down the centre. Good defence that time from Brisbane. Last tackle. Now what kick will we put on this time? In fact, I don't think Eddinghausen was expecting that. The little chip kick and grabber into the end zone. And has he scored? I think it's a try. It is. Eddinghausen from nothing, showing his blinding speed. He didn't expect the ball, the kick into the end goal area, and he won the race.
When the ball came out to Eddinghausen, there was no way expected to get that. Look at the front, the ball flicked around. He put the little kick in because he had nothing better to do, but the blinding pace of Eddinghausen. Hancock tries to get there first, but Eddinghausen stretches out. It's touch and go, but it did appear that Eddinghausen's hand placed it down first. Just sheer speed with a little chip, perfectly judged. The distance was right, and he took off Hancock in front of him. If Hancock had dived first, he would have got to it, but Eddinghausen diving underneath him. It's still difficult to tell, but the referee was well positioned just to the left of the picture, right in front of the action, and he awarded the try.
Here's Dowling coming off. Wilson to try and convert the Eddinghausen try. It's not a good kick at all. And so, with 5 minutes to go in the first half, Cronulla are leading by 24 points to 4.
There's no denying that Brisbane have the talent to come back and win this game from here, but they're going to have to start playing better football.
Here's Diamond again, away to Docking, and Docking's over the halfway. He's got Davies in support, he's got Russell also in support. Russell over the quarter line, Russell for the line. Russell will be caught from behind, only a couple of metres out. Cronulla on the attack again, Davies, and it's intercepted by Terry Madison, who's offside, says the referee. Penalty goes to Cronulla.
And 10 minutes in the sin bin, and you couldn't argue with that decision. Absolutely well-deserved 10 minutes in the sin bin for a professional foul when a try was every chance of being scored. Here's the play of the ball. The ball comes out, coming back onside. Madison just walked in the way. I suppose he was going to be there anyway, but he made no attempt to get out of the play. He could have dropped back, and he simply intercepted the pass when Cronulla had 3 men on the boil looking for that pass.
Here's Wilson. There's the kick. It's a much better one than the last one. But again, it's across the face of the uprights. And good work from Teven to get that ball back in the field of play. Well, they've been very lucky. And Madison, I'd reckon, to save them a couple of points there. And there's Niebling taking it ahead.
I'm afraid the people watching in Queensland won't be too happy with this effort, but the scoreboard tells the story, and it's a fair indication, 24-4, and the defence is just abysmal out there.
And look at that. That's the defence of the opposition as Hatch moved straight up on Wally Lewis and said, bang, come here. And now here's Scott going downfield, and he's found a bit of open space. The kick straight down Docking's throat, though. So at least he managed to get the kick in, and he followed his kick up, and he can't take Docking. But the next man up there on the line, which is Billy Noak, can. Now here's Eddinghausen. Eddinghausen down to the quarter line. He's got away from a couple. He's still got support over the top, and Noak has it. He knocked it to the ground and managed to regain possession, and the referee said knock back. But again, there was a chance for Cronulla to score. Look at this. Just couldn't get that ball. And the crowd just over 10,000, which for a Saturday afternoon at sunny Cronulla is very good. I think Wally Lewis has dragged about 5 through the gate this afternoon.
As you mentioned, the penalty count 6-1 now. It is a heavy count, one-sided, but at the same time, I can't remember many penalties that you would have disputed. I think there may have been one. But basically, the referee has been correct. The one we disputed was Colin Scott, knocking over Docking. But the point is, with those penalties, Cronulla have had plenty of possession. The scrums are about even, but plenty of possession in the first half to Cronulla.
Midway, half and quarter line, inside Brisbane's territory. And Speechley's little chip over the top, and Scott's missed it. And that's picked up by Eddinghausen, and he'll score under the post. his second try of the afternoon, his 7th try of the year. And it's all Cronulla. 28 points to 4 as Scott tried to get that bouncing ball. A good chip kick from Michael Speechley, who congratulates Eddinghausen, who finished it off superbly.
Well, the lid's on the coffin now, and Wally Lewis knows it.
Look at this. A good kick, and watch Eddinghausen.
Speechley puts it up. Eddinghausen flying through. Scott took the odds to it. He dived for it, tried to get it on the full. He knew Eddinghausen was coming and that a bounce could go anywhere. He dived, he failed, and Eddinghausen scooped it up. He's got great skills. He's not just got speed, Eddinghausen. Look at Scott. He dives, trying to get to it on the full, but he misjudged it in the end, and Eddinghausen made no mistake. Scott was in the devil's land there. He either had to dive for it on the full or take the odds to the bounce. He was never really going to be successful either way because it was a perfectly positioned kick from Speechley.
Well, Wally Lewis has got his football, and Sean Watson taking over the goal-kicking duties, puts it straight over the blue and black dot. And so Watson 1 from 1 to try and convert it. It's starting to become a bit embarrassing for the Broncos. This Cronulla 30, Brisbane 4. And can the Broncos hit back immediately? That's G. They're not running onto the ball.
Well, G did take it up, but as soon as he hit the defence, he was stopped in his tracks.
Hone now, that's the better run. And Hone has chopped down only 16 or 17 metres out. Conescu, away it comes. Langer, the long pass. Lewis to Miles. Miles got his pass away to Johns. On the run around, Scott's got it back on the quarter line. On the inside and taking it back now is Teven. And he's only about 16 or 17 metres out with that straight line defence of Cronulla. Very good so far. Lewis. The long pass comes away to Langer. The little grubber kick. Langer's been held back, but he's gathered in and scored. Super try. What a great try from little Alan Langer. He'd been pulled back and it didn't look for a moment as if he was going to regather it, but he shrugged off the man who had hold of his jumper and regathered that kick and has scored. And that came from nothing.
Tremendous work by Langer, a solo effort. The pass spins out from Lewis. Langer decides to put it on the toe and bustles his way through, and the speed, he's not as fast probably as Barry Russell, but he's got plenty of toe, Langer, and he scoops it up. And that's the sort of work Langer's been doing all season long. He really has been the spark in the attack. Lewis might be the steering wheel of the Broncos machine, but Langer is the spark, and here he goes. It's a solo effort, chasing through. He might have been obstructed, but nothing to worry about, and he certainly beat them all to the line.
And have a look at this lovely pass from Lewis too. He cut out about 4 players with this pass. Look at this long pass as it goes to Langer. Now you'll see Eddinghausen have a bit of a tug at the jumper there for a second, and then he picks it up. He picked it up pretty well to score the try as well. Madison's back on the field after his stint in the sin bin, and he's obviously going to be the goal kicker. Looks pretty good. Oh, just swung away on the outside of that upright. It looked good when it left the boot, but unsuccessful. And so the score, after about 7 minutes of the second half, is Cronulla 30, Brisbane 8. Staines. Speechley hoists it high. Now Watson's coming through on Scott. Watson's gone highest. I think he's knocked it on. Scott's got it back and he in turns knocked it on. And the scrum will go down for the double knock on. But a superb bit of football from Sean Watson. Obviously a bit of a move here with Speechley. Look at this.
Beautiful work by both men. Watson charging through and Scott stood his ground, kept his eyes on the ball, did his best to hang on to it under an awful lot of pressure, and it finally, well, almost came up with it in the end, but knocked on. But Watson must have got a lot of pace, or he was offside, because he really got through quickly on that Speechley bomb.
And Cronulla have got that ball, and they're right on the attack at the moment. They've got a chance to add another one. Speechley, that's Docking. Docking's under the post, he's in! 34 points to 8. And the way Cronulla are going, they may well have to declare before this game's over. Well, this is so simple.
This time Docking does what's virtually a Barry Russell in this match. The tiniest little gap, the acceleration off the mark, he just slipped through. There wasn't much of a hole there, but these little men are creating havoc in close. Watch the head-on shot, watch the defence. G comes away from the dummy half position. Scott goes across, the pass goes inside, and Docking curls around and in through the little hole that had been created.
I think that Wayne Bennett will be making some changes this week. Well, you think he might anyway. But the reserve grade side has been beaten the last 2 weeks. The kick has been put over by Sean Watson. It makes the score now 36 points to 8 in favour of Cronulla.
see Brian Niebling trying to get involved in the defence, and he's really going to have to shoulder some responsibility.
Here goes Russell through again. He had support on the inside, but the referee got in the road. He's still going, Russell. Russell's run them ragged. He's over the quarter line. Can he get away from Scott? He can, but he's taken from behind. He's only 12 metres out. Great cover defence from Lewis. A great run from Russell. Docking. Away it comes. Eddinghausen. Away then to Miller. Good front on defence though from Madison, who came up and took him on ball and all. Hatch, it is a dummy half. Hatch goes on his own. Last tackle against the Sharks. Miller has the shot at field goal. Comes off a Broncos leg. Loose on the ground. Picked up by Russell. And the referee says 6 to go. Well, that's unusual as Diamond takes it ahead. Very
I'd
hard.
like to see that again. The
Did
referee's
the Brisbane
ruled
player play at it or
yes,
not?
did the Brisbane player play at it.
Penalty now. It's against Hone. Right in front of the sticks, and they'll kick for goal from here.
Yes, of course, if it's simply a rebound, it's not 6 more tackles unless the Brisbane player actually makes a motion at the ball with his arms. Great little bit of work earlier on here by Russell to skip away Langer trying to grab at his feet.
There's the kick by Watson. Another penalty goal. Langer, the little chip and chase. He should regather this. He can't get it though. Bad bounce. He's got the ball back though as it comes to Lewis. The pass comes out now to Teven. On the inside is Benson. Teven takes them on his own. And he's about 13 metres out. Madison. It comes to Langer. That's Lewis. The pass popped over the top for G. G sends it out to Hancock and he's in for his second try. But the referee says forward pass.
Well, when you're having a bad day, you have a bad day. Brisbane don't seem to be able to make many breaks without the Langer chip kick. That's what started it off. And crowd, there's the forward pass, or the pass coming loose. Out Hancock scoring what he thought was a try.
Quinn's got it away, back to Docking. But every man and a blind man probably could have seen that that was the forward pass. And there's the full-time siren. The game's all over. It's been a very convincing win here. 38 points to 8.